Just trying the live thing for a little bit. Since I'm at the laundromat, I figured I try and do some live. So we'll see if anybody comes on, what we can talk about. Because if you've never sat at a laundromat, it's always fun. I don't know if I'll even get anybody in here. But one can try. One can hope. I think I'm doing this right. I think, I don't know if it tells you if anybody is on or not. That's what I'm not sure of. I don't know if I'm supposed to be hitting something. Or if I'm just talking to myself. I do that a lot as well, so that's okay. I'll just talk to myself. Just sitting here, wait, look how gray I am. I'm trying to go all gray. Look at that, wow. I'm trying to go all gray. So every once in a while, I'll cut my own hair in layers so it's not so obvious. So next time I'll go a little shorter and hopefully the gray will grow in. That's my goal, that the gray grows in and I just go all gray. Because it's not like, I do like the color. Like, I really do like the color. I just don't like that it's so separated. If I could wake up and be all gray, I'd be happy. But, it's a process going through it with long hair. So every once in a while, I cut it. I cut it in layers. It's called the curly girl cut. It's really easy to do on yourself. So I cut my own hair because I refuse to pay $65 for a haircut. I don't know what it is in Arkansas, but I know in New Jersey, that's how expensive it is. My daughter actually just called me, well, a couple weeks ago, and she said, do you think you can send me half for my hair? And I'm like, what are you getting done? And she told me, and I knew it was $300 easy, so I sent her $150, and she paid the other $150. I don't even know if she got it done yet, because she said she was looking for a place where she lives now, closer to college. But the last time she had that done, it was $300 plus the tip. Yay! I'm gonna start the truck only so I can put there we go. So you might hear a little traffic. I don't know. So yeah, it's gorgeous out today. It's November and I'm wearing 2 tank tops. Type of thingy that's like, it's got shorts underneath. I can't see, like, I can see people on now. Can someone just type hi so I can see if anything is coming up? I don't know how to look, like, because it just tells me about this chat thing that's there. I don't know. But so, okay, so for those that don't know, I'll give you the moving to Arkansas. So we lived in New Jersey. Oh, Matthew Johnson, hi. Okay, so I can see. So really no one wants to interact with me, but hi, Matthew. So anyway, a little bit about how we ended up in Arkansas from New Jersey, which was a huge adjustment for me. So first I lived in southern New Jersey near Atlantic City, in that area, and Scott lived in central North New Jersey, near, you've never heard of this town, it's Mine Hill. But anyway, we dated off and on for 11 years. And I would make that weekend drive, 2-hour drive every weekend. And then in the summer, I would stay there. My day is going great, Matthew. How about you? So eventually, the last 2 years of our relationship, I finally moved up there because my daughter was in college now. So it wasn't imperative that we you know, that I stay there, because she was living in the dorms, and then in the summer she could come to Scott's, which we used to do anyway. So anyway, I moved in, and we had a 5-year plan. Our 5-year plan was to get the house together, sell it, and move. And so he started looking for land. So he would fly, you know, in and set up appointments and look for land. And he found this land in Arkansas, and our 3, 4, 5-year plan turned into like a 6-month plan. So he listed the house, and I just had a gut feeling like it's because the houses where he's at are very coveted, like because he was so close to New York. Hey, Joseph. So, and the houses around that area were selling within 2 weeks. I kid you not. As soon as we put the house on the market, it's like everything got stagnant. Everything, like all over. So we've been paying the mortgage and the property tax. And if you know property tax in New Jersey, it's outrageous, like $10,000, $13,000 a year and higher. We drove out here in May, and we've been paying the property taxes and the mortgage, plus our, you know, our land mortgage. I guess it's land mortgage. I don't know what you call it. And we couldn't build because we were waiting for our house to sell in New Jersey. So fingers crossed, the house is under contract, and we're supposed to close on November 21st. So please keep your fingers crossed that we close. So in the spring we can start building, because we are living in an RV right now, and it's the two of us, and it's only like a 24-foot, like it's a motorhome, like you drive it. But there's the two of us, 3 cats. There were 3 dogs, but now there's 2. I had to put my Zeke boy down. I'm not even going to talk about it because I'll start crying. So yeah, so I've been trying to adjust. Scott adjusted immediately. When we first pulled up, I think he was a little disappointed in my reaction, because you have to remember, when he came out here, I want to say in like March or April, and he took pictures, and the land was beautiful. We have 3 spring-fed ponds on it. It's almost 29 acres. Beautiful land, woods. There's a waterfall when you walk through the woods. I mean, it's beautiful in the pictures. I'm not saying it's not beautiful, but in the pictures, but when we pulled up in May, and my girlfriend drove in the motorhome with me. Hi, Ashley. My day's going well. How about you? I'm sitting at the laundromat waiting for my clothes, so I figured we'd have a conversation, and I'd go live and introduce myself. And if you can like and subscribe, that would be great. But anyway, my girlfriend Robin drove with me, because we were taking Scott's mom, who has dementia, to Missouri, where her sisters live, and we got her settled in a home a block away from her sister. So it was just easier. We weren't going to leave her behind, obviously. So driving, I had to literally lay in the bed with her the entire drive, like, and she wasn't very with me. At that point, she told me she hated me, but I know she loves me, so it's not anything. So anyway, when we finally pulled up to our land, I think Scott was a little taken back by my reaction, because I wasn't all excited. Because when we pulled up to the land, you have to remember, it's May now. Everything is growing and everything is overgrown. So to me, the land looked like a big overgrown mess of, I don't even know how to explain it. So he's like, "You're not happy?" I'm like, look, I give me a little bit to see the big picture. Give me some grace. And he did. And now I love the land. I love it. You know, he had ordered a tractor with a brush hog. It's got every toy and auger, everything, a grader, everything you could imagine on it. But the brush hog, as soon as he was able to brush hog everything, and I was able to appreciate the land, and he walked me through the woods to the waterfall, I was like, okay, now I can see the beauty in what you saw. Um, it's still a work in progress. And like I said, we'll start building in September. House closes on the 21st of November. Please let it close on the 21st of November, because we need to start building in the spring. So that's why we have another channel called Rockin, ROCKIN Ranch, which is going to be because the two of us are building it by hand. We're not hiring anybody. We do have new neighbors that moved across from us, and Scott helped build their enclosure because they're doing what we did, which is RV living while they build. So Scott was in his glory helping him do everything, and helping him build everything. So now hopefully we will get help, because he knows everybody. Riley, he's like 24 or 25, and he knows everybody that knows everything about everything. HVAC, he knows the guys that do the roads, he knows everything, everybody. So one of the main reasons why Arkansas was chosen is because, again, New Jersey is a very expensive state to live in, and Scott makes good money, but when you make good money, it's better to be in a state where they're not raping you with taxes and everything. I mean, between property taxes, car insurance, sales tax, just the cost of everything was so expensive to live in New Jersey. I don't know. Listen, I really struggled as a single parent being on Social Security disability. I really, really struggled with that. But I had a village behind me, so I was able to do it. I don't know how people do it without the village behind them. So if you know somebody that, well, I never asked for help, so you might know somebody that you might think is struggling, but they're not asking for help them out anyway. A bag of groceries goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? Fill up the tank of gas goes a long way. So anyway, that's how we ended up in Arkansas. And it took me a minute to get adjusted, because our neighbors at the time were cows. So our driveway, I say driveway, it's like a mile long, is ours. We have to take care of it, maintain it, because we were the only ones that were living there. Our road is an easement. So we gave an easement to the guy at the very top who just had cattle there. And there was nobody else until Riley and his wife moved right across from us, on my favorite piece of land. The sunsets there are gorgeous, but I get to enjoy them from my property, so that's nice. But now that there's two people living on the land, we're hoping that the county will now take over, because the divots in our road, it's going to cost us probably, if we have to do it ourselves, which if the county doesn't buy it, or not even buy it, take it over, it will be ours to maintain. So it'll probably cost us about $10,000. Right now it's like an amusement park ride, driving parts of our driveway, because the rain washes out so much of the clay. So that's one of the first things that we're going to fix, because we don't want it to be too bad. Hi from California. I used to live in California. My son and my granddaughter live in California now. I call them, I never say ex-in-laws, because I still consider them family. Like, I still consider my sister-in-law my sister, actually. Like, I call her sis. So I did live in California. My son still lives there. My son lives in Apple Valley. I lived in Ontario at one point, and Fontana. This was when we were, I was actually pregnant with my son. My son is 37. So, oh, gorgeous. That's, you know what? I never made the trip out there, but Joshua Tree is one of the places. It's still on my bucket list. I think the next time, my son said the next time I go out there, he'll take me to see that area. But believe it or not, I've never been to Vegas either. And that's on my list as well. Uh, I know it's crazy, but I grew up and lived near Atlantic City. I was 40 minutes away from Atlantic City, so I used to love to go to play. When I was younger, I played blackjack a lot, like, because I would never stay if I was losing, you know what I mean? But I did well with blackjack. But as I got older and after the accident, blackjack wasn't my thing, so I played the penny slots, and I've done really well with the penny slots. As a matter of fact, 3 years ago it was, probably 3 years ago, I took my daughter to a concert in Connecticut to see Harry Styles, I want to say. And it was at the Mohegan Sun. And I won $13,000 on the penny slots. It was my second 60-cent bet. And I hit the button to spin, and it was a jackpot machine that I've never seen in Atlantic City. So I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, why isn't this pushing? Like, I'm looking, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like, why isn't this pushing? You know, like, nothing's moving. But it didn't look like I won. And some guy comes by and he's like, hon, you hit the jackpot. I'm like, what? So, but they take taxes out right there in Connecticut, which is a good thing. And then, I had to pay Social Security to let them know that I won. So I paid my portion to them, and New Jersey taxes. So by the time it was said and done, I think I ended up with, I want to say $7,500, which was fine because that's about what it cost to fix my car. So, but that was exciting. But my average on the penny slots, I do really well. I usually hit pretty well with them. Like, I'm not talking thousands, but I've hit for like 300, 700. Penny slots are the way to go, people, because you can play for a long time with just putting, like when I would go down to Atlantic City, it was $100. That's it. So I would put the $100 in the machine, and I would play for quite a while, actually a couple hours. And if I lost it all, I left, and that was it. I did the same thing with blackjack. It was always $100. I never bring more to the casinos than I'm able to lose. So that was the thing. So while my daughter was in the concert, it was funny. I texted her while she was in the concert telling her I just hit for $13,000. And her response back to me was, oh my gosh, that's great. Can we stay in the casinos an extra night and I can go to the concert again tomorrow night? Yeah, no, that's not how it works, sweetheart. I paid for you to be in Connecticut, drove from New Jersey to Connecticut so you could go to this concert, bought the concert tickets. So, yeah, so that was my big thing. I still want to go to the casinos here in Oklahoma. Apparently, we're only about 45 minutes from there. Scott's been a couple times, and he won. But I would like to go just to play the pen. I don't even know if Oklahoma casinos have the penny slots. But if they do, I'm on it. So I am So one of the stories, I was telling this as I was driving and showing you guys the landscape this morning. One of the funny things is last week we were invited to the community spaghetti dinner at the firehouse. And so I made like a video driving there. Like, I feel like I'm finally country. I'm going to a community dinner, spaghetti dinner at the firehouse. Now, I'm Italian, so I'm very particular about my pasta. So I ate it, to be cordial, but there were literally maybe 7 people there, and I said, "This God, is this like our entire community? Like, is this our entire?" Hi, Cat, how are you? I hope you're having a good day. So it was a very small. It was also on Halloween, so maybe that was a thing. But like I said, my neighbors have been cows. In my immediate area, there's Terry and his wife. That when you first pull down the county street, I didn't meet the neighbors that are right there, but you come up a little bit and that's Terry, and then it's our mailboxes, and then it's our street, which is our driveway is like a mile long. So you go down all the way, it's all empty. Like that's Terry's land on the right. And then you get further down, and then it's our land on the right, and all the way back up to the top of the hill. But we don't go top of the mountain, but we don't go like our area where we are building. Good to see you again, Kat. I appreciate you being on here. But now it's Riley and his wife who are expecting a baby on the other side of us. So before that, it was just cows. We had cows as neighbors, just cows. But they were fun. Terry has goats. So in the immediate future, after winter, of course, during the winter, he's building me my chicken coop because I want chickens. We will have chickens, a mini donkey, and goats. They're the three things that I really want on the property as we build, because what we're going to do is we're going to build the garage first, because the house is 2,400 square feet. Why he thinks we need 2,400 square feet when it's just the two of us, and maybe my daughter and some girlfriends coming to visit once in a while, and my son and my granddaughter once in a while. I think it's a lot of house, but that's what he wants, and I've fallen in love with the house plan, so I'm excited about it as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to build the garage / craft area first, because that's a very big area as well, and we're going to build on top of that. When we're all built, that's going to be his man cave with the pinball machine, the pool table, and all of that. But before that, it's going to be our living, because we have to get out of the RV come springtime. So the garage is the first thing being built, and we're going to make it like an apartment with a kitchen and, just a kitchen, a bathroom, an area for the bed, and an area for his office. But it'll be more room because, like I said, with the dogs and cats, it gets crowded in the RV. I can handle it. Oh, I know, baby and young goats. I know it's going to be work to care for them. And trust me, I've watched videos, and I know if one gets pregnant, I might have to go up and assist. I think I could do that. I'm pretty sure I could do that. But I'm also excited about the mini donkey and the chickens. Like, who doesn't want eggs all the time? But I thought, okay, we'll just get chickens and they'll lay eggs. But all the research I've done, because I try and research stuff, before I make a commitment, and I never knew about lash eggs. Are they eyelash eggs or lash eggs? I don't know. Lash eggs and egg binding and all the different things that can happen, and how you have to really protect them from predators, which is part of the mini donkey thing. But I do want a mini donkey anyway. And the goats, of course I'm watching all of the horror stories that can happen with goats. Only one hoof coming out and you got to go in and readjust them and all that. So the mini donkey I'm looking forward to for being a hoot, and also they are the best, I heard, for protecting the goats and for protecting the chickens. So that's a big thing, because the story that I was getting at beforehand. So when we first moved here, within the first 2 weeks, Scott walked out the front door of the RV and almost stepped on a snake. And he calls me out, and of course I'm with my phone doing the video. Oh my God, it's so cute. Look at it, blah, blah, blah. And it was a rattlesnake. So luckily, Chance, who has the cattle up at the top of the very top of the mountain, he was coming by and we waved him down, and he's like, that's a rattlesnake. You don't want to be near that. Yes, and Kat, that's part of the thing. We're figuring out as we go along. We're going to make mistakes. I mean, I have no doubt that there are going to be mistakes made, but you learn as you go. Oh my gosh, it was scary, but I'm also in this. This is why it wasn't as scary for me. It was scary when I found out I was that close and it was a rattlesnake, like videotaping it. But I joined a Facebook group for snake identifying in Arkansas, and sorry, fire truck. And from what I found out was, if a rattlesnake or a cottonmouth bites me, I'm not going to die. Like, I will have time either to get airlifted to a hospital, because we're about an hour away from a hospital. And I talked about that in my last video, that we can buy, if for $500 for 10 years, we can buy an insurance type of thing where that's all it will cost us for an air flight to a hospital, because we live so far away from a hospital. The closest hospital was in Stillwell, Oklahoma, but it was a rural hospital and it closed down. So, but I did find out that I'm not going to die from a snake bite. So now I'm less afraid. Doesn't mean I'm going out barefoot running through the woods, but I'm less afraid. But I was really shitting my boots. Oh, I'm sorry. I was really, really panicked when I found out it was a rattlesnake and I was that close. Like, that was my stupidity, because you're in a new area. Like, you have to learn your area. So I am going to, I'm so glad you guys talked with me, and like I said, if you could like and subscribe, that would be great. But like I said, I'm at the laundromat, so I'm getting ready to switch over my clothes. But thanks for hanging out with me, and this was a first fun live. I appreciate it. I appreciate the interaction. So thank you. I appreciate it. And if I figure out how to shut this off, I'm going to. But have a good day, and I will see you later this afternoon. Maybe I'll go live again tonight. So have a good day. Kat, thanks for hanging out, and everybody else that hung out with me. I appreciate it. Rach, I appreciate you. Ashley, Matthew. Matthew was my first hello. So I hope you all have a good day. I'm going to finish my laundry. Yeah, my boss belongs to a spider and snake group. They freak me out. So glad I caught your live. I'm so glad you caught my live too. And we'll talk about the snakes and spiders another time too, because the spiders now scare me more than the snakes. Not that, you know, I'm going to die from them either, but their bites, some of them can cause more damage than a snake bite. Don't know how that is, but yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And I'll talk to you a little later. Thank you for hanging out. Take care.